Hey guys, what is up? It is Friendly Noobs here, back again with another Isaac hardcore run. This time we're going some Magdalene, Maggie, Patesy. Alright, ooh, lost contact. That's a pretty good start. I'm digging it. Last time, we were Lazarus, I believe, and we had very little going for us until near the end, at which point we decided to overcome the game and defeat it. I mean, there wasn't, if I recall correctly, there wasn't anything like inherently negative about our run. It's just we had like 1 damage up in the cricket's head, which is good. You know, that's better than a lot of runs, in fairness. Shouldn't have grabbed that yet. That's a bad mistake. Hopefully it won't cost us. Blue Larry Jr., so it's unlikely to cost us, mostly because he will drop a Spirit Heart as he dies. What's really bizarre about Blue Larry Jr., and I don't know if this is like pure coincidence, we'll try my best. We will try my best. Yeah, good fucking subject and shit, you fucktard. But I'm gonna try my best to, okay, so I've now disproved it. My experience, well, I guess not actually, because it was still 1 shot. My theory is that after you break 1 piece of the Blue Larry Jr., it's like 1 shot for every other piece. And I don't know why that would be the case, but it feels that way every time. It didn't quite feel that way this time, so I will, you know, I'll admit when I've been defeated. It was just weird happenstance that made me think that, which is fine, whatever. Alright. So, here we are. We have lost contact as our only item so far, but, you know, starting with Yum Heart's not an incredible advantage, but it is nice in certain situations. You know, for example, if you have a, I don't know, a Temperance card or a Blood Bank on the floor. I don't know where I was thinking of Temperance card, it just kind of like jumped out of me, you know, out of the depths of my fucking understanding or something. Alright, I didn't enjoy that damage at all. I hate this room just because it's so hard to do it properly and not just get penned in. Or maybe I'm just retarded. Or both. I'm not going to rule out the option of it being both, so. So, I'm considering, once the Pro Tour is over for Magic the Gathering, I am heavily considering just doing a bunch of Pauper dailies and recording them for YouTube. If you don't play Magic, don't worry about it. But if you do play Magic, Pauper is basically just all commons. Very cool format. And on Magic the Gathering Online, they run daily events. 2 every day on the weekend, I believe, and only 1 every day on weekdays. And they're like the highest. Dailies are basically the highest EV event you can enter in general on Magic Online. Because it's like, if you can, it's 4 rounds, right? And if you can 3-1 every other daily, you go infinite. Which isn't nearly as hard to do as it may sound, and if it doesn't sound hard, that's because it's not. And by go infinite, I mean you begin paying for your entry fee to the next one, right? As well as get a little extra. That's basically what going infinite means. And right now they're much higher EV because they have the new packs, which are quite a bit better than the older packs. Generally, I guess we're getting a little too deep into Magic here, but basically, the way Magic works is it's released in sets, right? Just sets of cards. And it's constantly being updated, basically. There are certain things called eternal formats where it's just like all cards that are, you know, well, basically a non-rotating format is considered eternal, of which there are 3, which is Vintage, well, I guess technically more if you include Pauper and EDH and stuff like that. But yeah, whatever. I'm getting too deep into it. Basically, sets come out. events on Magic the Gathering Online pay out in packs. Also, events in real life pay out in packs generally. Packs are worth some amount of money, so you can turn the entry fee, right, into packs, which you can turn into more money, which ends up being more entry fees, or, you know, just money, or both. It's basically the way it works. You know, basically I'm telling you that I'm gambling, and I have a problem, and this is a cry for help. But, you know, it's cool stuff. And the thing is, the packs per set, their value fluctuates depending on how recent the set is, what kind of money cards are in it, shit like that. The last set that packs were being paid out in was Khans of Tarkir. Very few money cards, and it was very flooded, and it got, you know, at that point, it was a little bit old. So basically, it was worth very little. But now Dragons came out. I think in terms of money cards, it's like still the same, but in fairness, it's very new, so it's yet to be seen if there are certain cards that will become money cards or certain money cards that will not become money cards. So it's hard to say right now what the money card situation is going to be like. But at the very least, it's new, and new generally means more expensive. So I'm going to pop that just for the 2 extra bombs immediately. That seems pretty good. So I know I'm missing out on a lot of potential value with this Temperance card, because I'm not, you know, using it and using Yumheart and shit, but that sounds like a lot of work. I'm not the biggest fan of work. The joke is that I'm unemployed, so... you know, perceive that as you wish, I suppose. Let's go. Mega Fatty. Boo. This will be a while. So what do you guys want to talk about? This is when I would be really happy if I were streaming, because I'd be able to just talk to chat. I'm so happy, by the way. Oh my god, you motherfucker, you sniped me. I love streaming so much, I'm retarded? Because of the interaction. I'm gonna stop talking about streaming, because every time I've done it, Mega Fatty has fucking hurt me. Mega Fatty, you're an asshole. Yeah, I love the interaction aspect. So, like, a situation like this arises, in a video, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta find a way to fill the time. Let me just bullshit about when I was a kid. Maybe make up a story. Everybody will believe it. That's a joke. I don't make up stories. I seldom make up stories. I don't think I've made up a single story for this. Don't worry. I haven't been shoveling lies into your fucking ears. But, yeah, with the chat there, it's like if somebody else wants, you know, to ask a question or whatever, like, hey, what's your favorite anime? And I'm like, oh, my favorite anime is Yu Yu Hakusho. And then they're like, well, you have shit taste in anime. And then I'm like, you're a shit, and then ban them because I fucking hate them because they dislike Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm sorry. That won't happen again. I'm sorry. I got a little carried away there. Nah, but real talk, if you dislike Yu Yu Hakusho, your taste in anime is shit. Fuck you. I can understand people disliking Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is probably my favorite anime, actually. But I understand that one because it's, oh my god, yes. Alright, Cricket's body is incredible here. I understand people, you know, not liking Neon Genesis Evangelion because it's fucking confusing sometimes. I get it, you know. You can't say something's your favorite if you don't fucking get it. I just hate the people who are like, this anime just tries to be too deep. It's like, nah, you're just an idiot. It's not trying to be deep at all. It's literally just a fucking autobiography of a broken man, basically. If you haven't watched it, by the way, that I literally spoiled nothing. I couldn't spoil anything. There's no way to spoil anything in Neon Genesis Evangelion. And even if I did spoil something, you wouldn't even believe that I spoiled you, even after seeing the thing that I spoiled. Shit's crazy. It's so good, though. That's not true. You probably would understand what I'm saying, but it wouldn't impact you negatively, I would say. And this is where I heavily consider actually spoiling something and acting like it wasn't a spoiler. I'm not gonna do it, don't worry. I would never do that. I talked about it before, how like spoiler culture just kind of doesn't sit well with me, I guess. Like, I just don't get it. But, you know, I respect it. I'm not gonna be like, blah, blah, spoiler, spoiler. You know, I'm just like, well, why do you fucking care? Get our energy. Welp, we haven't gotten great pills. Okay, time to prove that you can get through this room with a speed down as Maggie. There you go, boys and girls. So many people are like, "Duh, that room's impossible." I'm like, you can get through there with a speed down as Maggie, and people are like, "Duh, you're cheating," and I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm lying. I haven't actually met anybody who said it so much. I have seen a lot of people on Reddit crying about it, and when approached and told there is a consistent 100% way to do it, as Maggie with a speed down, as I have now demonstrated twice, they still just don't get it, and they're like, I tried it, but I got a hit. Your game is different, but it's not. The timing is just finicky as fuck, and you're just not used to it. That's all it is. So this weekend is pretty hype, though, in terms of events happening. If you enjoy being a nerd, who doesn't? Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Dragons of Tarkir, which is pretty hype. I do find it quite funny that, like, how many scandals there have already been. Not really. I guess they're not like scandals, but they're like, you know, weird things that got people talking. Like pseudo drama, right? I find it kind of weird. But in fairness, this actually happens like every Pro Tour season. Not necessarily on the Pro Tour, but at some point in the season, in events for people trying to go to the Pro Tour, shit like this happens. Like GPs and PTQs that are streamed are just like fucking non-stop drama mines, which I find hilarious. But, you know, in fairness, there haven't been many legitimate cheaters in a bit. Any people who, you know, are doing things incorrectly with the intent to get an advantage. But there was, who was it? Steven Speck, I think, is the guy who was doing the palming a 7-card hand. That's impressive. Like, dude's a douchebag for doing it. But, fucking, you know, hats off to you. That's some good shit right there. I mean, not good shit, but like, you know, impressive. It's before him was the last one Burton Cheaty? That was like, what, 5 years ago? Burton Cheaty? I just walked into a bullet. I think that was, no, wasn't he banned for 5 years, and that's getting lifted in 2017, so 3 years ago? Wasn't that recently? I thought it was fucking ages ago, to be honest with you. But I think it was like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. What he did a lot of dumb shit. I don't know. Most cheaters, when it comes to Magic the Gathering, don't do any spectacular shit. All they do is, like, lift cards up off the table. you know, like whether the card's like being removed or whatever, they just pick it up and put it in their hand while people aren't looking. That's like the most common cheat I've ever seen in Magic the Gathering, which is bizarre. Those are nice. And there was one at the PT. Who was it? Felipe something, I think was his name. There was an End Hostilities cast, which is just destroy all creatures spell, basically. It's a board wipe, right? It clears the board so all the tiny dudes are gone or whatever. And while it was being resolved, he picked up the creatures, right, and put them in the graveyard, as you should. But what ended up happening was he also picked up his Temple of Deceit, which is a land that when it enters the battlefield, you get to basically look at the top card of your deck and put it on bottom or top. There's a cycle of those lands. The ability is called Scry, and they're of course called Scry lands. And he was actually able to use that Scry to essentially win him the game. He very, very clearly picked it up and put it in his hand, and it was pretty clearly intentional in my opinion. You don't just, like, it was on the show match, you know, like it was on stream, because the cheaters aren't, you know, very smart people. They're generally desperate people. So he did it in feature match area, did it in front of all the cameras, and yeah, he just like very clearly turned it face down, picked it up, put it in his hand after putting all the creatures in his graveyard. Just like did it, you know, no hesitation, just did it. So I don't know how they're gonna resolve that. I don't think he made it to top 8. Or did he? He might have. Because in the feature match area, show match area, whatever you want to call it, they only had people that were in like top 8 contention the whole time. But I don't remember when that happened, whether it was day 1 or day 2. If it was day 2, I feel like he might actually have made it into top 8 before it was caught. But if it was day 1, then I think there shouldn't have been an issue, and it was probably already resolved. But I haven't paid enough attention to give a shit. Alright. Hollow. Interesting. So I'm looking for an all stats up over pretty much anything. All stats up is my jam right now. I would also take a tears up or just a range up. Like, honestly, a generic range up wouldn't be the end of the world. In fact, I'd be quite happy about it. Latchkey's good. That'll make up for our luck down. By the way, I'm like so in the mode of, fuck it, I'm not gonna backtrack with -1 speed. I'm so in the mode of breaking runs, but this is a hardcore run. I don't know if that's a good thing. Oh, god damn it. I mean, fanny packs just helped us out. I don't think there's a way to get through that room with my current situation. And I also fucking... everything about these goddamn spiders. It's just bullshit, dude. Alright, alright. You know what? You convinced me, game. Motherfucker! Alright. Yeah, we got Kane. It was the goal. Totally. Alright, that should be good. I think we're good with, you know, 73 cents. Alright. Oh, wait, like this. That's right. Okay. I forgot that was the way to do it with flying. I was like so in the mode of I'm walking, my speed is fucking negative, we're doomed. But yeah, we're flying, which is weird because normally when you're flying you don't move at, you know, negative movement speed or whatever. I mean, obviously it's not negative, I'm not holding forward and moving back or anything, but nice. we get to fart now. Oh, hell yeah. So what I could do... That doesn't work, okay. I was hoping that would work. God damn it, dude, you suck. What a good fart. I'm happy about it. Oh yeah, I guess I started talking about Burton Sheedy and then just suddenly stopped talking about him. Burton Sheeny, which is his last name, but everybody of course calls him Burton Sheedy because he's a fucking idiot. Also, I think that there was something to do with the card Cheaty Face, which is an unhinged card, which are like joke cards made by the actual like Wizards of the Coast that you can technically play, not in tournament though. They're banned in, you know, like regular Magic the Gathering tournaments. You can do like silly drafts and shit with it, and, you know, do casual play stuff with them. But regardless, Burton Cheaty. We'll call him for the rest of this conversation. He was a fucktard who did dumb shit. Basically, he the biggest one, which kind of triggered it all, and that's when it all came tumbling down, was at an SCG Open, and SCG is Star City Games, which is just a company that involves themselves heavily in Magic the Gathering related things. Including their own tournament series called the SCG Open. Ladder does nothing, but I will buy consumables and donate. There's options. So at an SCG Open, in the feature match area, Burton Sheeny was playing some Magic the Gathering. And he was playing... in Legacy, if I'm not mistaken. It must have been, yeah, because Curse Scroll was there. So in Legacy, he was playing, and Legacy is an eternal format, non-rotating, basically, you know, quote, all cards in Magic, end quote, because there is a ban list and stuff like that. But you get it. It's basically the old format that people play a lot. And he has this card, Kira. Great Glass Spinner? Is that what it's called? Something like that. It's a creature. And if you don't know anything about Magic, play like Pokemon or something, I'm sure that you can probably piece together what I'm saying. Or if you played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. I'm sure that there's some information to glean from what I'm saying. But basically, it has an ability that whenever one of your creatures is targeted, for the first time in the turn, you counter that. You counter what's targeting them for the first time every turn, right? So the first effect that targets your dudes each turn doesn't happen, right? That's a counter. And so it's a pretty good card. It's not broken by any means, because, you know, you just play 2 cards targeting it dies, and then you can just play as if it never existed, right? It basically just soaks 1 extra spell in a lot of cases. But it is good. Safety pin's nice. Ooh. So we're grabbing this duder. Alright, beautiful. So yeah, that's what that card does. His opponent has Jace the Mind Sculptor, which you've probably heard of, even if you haven't played Magic. He's pretty infamous for a couple reasons. But he is a Planeswalker, and they're kind of like, I don't know, there's not really a good non-Magic example that I can come up with for what Planeswalkers are. They're a thing that gives you recurrable uses of certain abilities that they possess every turn, once a turn. and they're not creatures, which makes them good in certain cases. But Jace has an unsummon ability, which is just, you know, return target creature to its owner's hand. And so that's one of the cards across the table. Then the other card across the table is the Cursed Scroll, which is a pretty cool card. It's an artifact, which is just kind of a thing that sits on the table, and artifacts generally have some ability, you know. This one in particular costs mana, tap it, so you can only use it once a turn, or if you can untap it in some way more than once a turn. And what it does is you name a card, and then you deal 2 damage. I think it's 2. It wouldn't be 3, right? 3 would be too good. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Well, you reveal a card at random from your hand, and if it's the same name, the card you reveal is the same as the named card, then it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So, that card, basically what you do is you get yourself down to 1 card in hand, and then it's just a recurable source of 2 damage. It's a very, very good grindy card, and it's run in actually quite a few Legacy decks, if I'm not mistaken. And so, what his opponent does with this Jason Cursed Scroll is, for the first time, he says, you know, Jace, unsummon Kira. It gets countered by Kira's ability. Cursed Scroll, targeting Kira, kills Kira. Right? Easy. Pretty straightforward. Kira goes to the graveyard, that's fine. Burton Cheaty, who has 2 Kiras in his deck, only 2, he has the second one in hand, plays it, and what ends up happening is, you know, next turn, opponent, same thing. Jace unsummon, gets countered by the ability, Curse Scroll, kill it. But instead of it going to the graveyard, Burton Cheaty picks it up and puts it in his hand, as if the order were suddenly reversed or something. Or maybe he's just a fucking cheater and, you know, just wants to not lose the creature. He then plays his 3rd Kira Great Glass Spinner of the game, right, out of the 2 in his deck, with no way to actually get them back in the entire deck. And the commentators are like, wait, I thought he only had 2 in his deck. Oh, we'll get that checked. You know, they just kind of ignore it. They brush it off because, you know, when you're doing commentary, you want to maintain a certain narrative, I guess. You don't really want to dwell on like, whoa, 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 he cheated. Commentators will be like, hey, we witnessed this, tell the floor judge, right? But, you know, you don't really, you know, you don't dwell on things, generally. God, fuck, those nubs are so accurate sometimes. And so, nobody caught it. The commentators caught it. All of the stream viewers caught it. But the table judge, the guy who was actually at the table watching the game unfold, didn't catch it. Well, I mean, Burton Cheaty obviously caught it, but his opponent didn't catch it. And the game pretty much continued until it was over. And once it ended, you know, people obviously, after the fact, like, went on Reddit and shit and noticed that that had happened. So then they talked to judges and shit like that. Turns out he had a history of cheating, multiple of which have actually been proven that he was cheating. One of which, oh yeah, I'll pop the devil just to make this go faster. One in particular was in around the same time in Standard, which is the constantly rotating newest sets format, basically. So you play with all the newest cards, and it stops at a certain point, backwards or whatever. In Standard, he was playing a deck called Valakut, and the whole point of the deck is just get a lot of lands. And there was a reason for that. Basically, this land said if you had a certain number of mountains in play, every mountain would deal 3 damage to something. And it's a pretty good card. I'm not gonna lie to you. That deck was pretty crazy, and that card was pretty fucking good. Yeah, I'm playing the shit out of you. He was playing Valakut, and there's a card called Explore that allows you to play 1 extra land on your turn. Sorcery speed, so you can only play it on your turn. You can't play it on, like, opponent's turn or anything. It allows you to play 1 extra land, and you draw a card, right? So, Burton Sheedy, on the good old, turn 3, plops down his 6th land. You know, after casting, he went turn 1, land go, turn 2, explore, play additional land, say go. Turn 3, land, right? So that would be his 4th land of the game. Play explore, right? Play extra land off explore. And then I think he waited, like he went into the tank, which is basically just the term for thinking about your next play. And then I don't think he played anything. Maybe trying to represent that he had like a lightning bolt or something in hand. And then played his 6th land, which obviously there was nothing allowing him to do that. And then he said go. And then the spectator, recording the entire game on their iPhone, said, "What turn is it?" And instead of being like, "Oh, it's turn 3. Oh, whoops, I've played an additional land. Judge, I've made a mistake," he said 2 explores. That was his answer. So, you know, it's like asking a fucking, you know, murder suspect, like, "Hey, so where were you on the night of the 12th? I didn't kill her!" Oh. I see. You know. It's pretty damning, if you ask me. But, apparently, Watsy also believed that was the case and gave him a, I think it was a 5-year ban. It should have been lifetime. I feel like they were a little too lenient. Like, the dude has apparently also cheated countless times at, like, his local game store for, like, FNMs and stuff, which is, like, the most casual, level of, like, competition that exists. Friday Night Magic. It's just, you know, every Friday night, your local game store, people just playing standard. Apparently cheating at that's a big deal. I mean, it's really not a big deal. It's the biggest thing about it. Like, you're not gonna get caught cheating at an FNM probably, because no, why would you cheat at a fucking FNM? I don't know, man. People are fucking, they'd be desperate. What the fuck? Hey, hang on. You see this on the floor right over here on the left? You see that? It's breathing. The fuck is that? You see that? Right here. Do you see that? Little fucking thing on the ground is just breathing. It's like a pore. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know how, I've never seen it before. That's weird. Not seeing something like a ground decoration ever before in Isaac, after playing how many hours have I played? Too many. That's baffling to me. That's actually crazy. I can't imagine that I've never even noticed that. Maybe I've seen it, but I haven't registered it. You know, I haven't like committed it to my memory. A thing that exists on the floor. Like, I've seen the veins, right? And the veins that, like, pulse or whatever. But I've never seen that, like a fucking core or like a valve or something. Can you fucking not spawn directly on top of me when you can spawn anywhere at the top of the screen? Oh my god, I'm just trying to scratch my back and you summon an enemy on me and then I panic and fucking run into his bullets. God damn it, mom's heart. What the fuck is your problemo? Problemo. I did the thing again where I took my hand off. You ever get that where you commit to a scratch? Oh, I'm sad we didn't get to go to fight Satan. Oh well. That was an enjoyable run. Where you like go to scratch, right? Or you're in the act of scratching and then like maybe your face or your back or maybe your butt, who knows. But you're in the act, right? And then something happens that means you should stop scratching it, but you're like, well, if I stop now, it'll feel weird. So I gotta, you gotta get that last like rake in there, right? Before you can actually move your hand up. That's exactly what happened there. As I was scratching my, I was about to say beard, but I don't have a beard. It's like scraggly fucking whiskers. But I was scratching my chin, and yeah, I was committed basically. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that episode. If you did, of course, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. We have one more hardcore run, which I think we can actually, because we have played as Isaac, have just unlocked Cain. Still need to unlock Samson. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Stay tuned.